I had 10 days to report to Fort Lupton.
And you said Hertha was pregnant with your...
Hertha was pregnant with
only
Larry.
child?
Yeah.
Oh.
And so they sent me from Fort Lupton to Biggs Field in El Paso, Texas. It's still there. It's quite a depot.
Mm-hmm.
And then the question of my citizenship came up.
You mean because you were born in Canada?
Because I was born in Canada. So all the guys that I knew and went in the service with, they were all gone.
Right.
And I'm still down there
drinking your Johnny Walker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't drinking no Johnny Walker.
How long did it take them to resolve that?
About 3 weeks.
Okay, yeah. They were going to figure out a way to make you an American citizen.
That's
no
right.
matter
Well,
what.
There was a law in 1922 that said that any person who was born in a foreign country of American parents was automatically a U.S. citizen.
No, your father was from Wisconsin, your
Yeah.
mother from Scotland.
Yeah.
Right.
So my father was the reason that they
Right.
got to me.
Right.
And you didn't need any papers or nothing for that to happen.
Right.
So that's what happened.
Mm-hmm. You were never real serious about dodging the draft there. It wasn't heading up to Canada.
I didn't even know that because
They
we got
just...
married in Denver, and then we went to Sacramento. I got in trouble in Denver, and
Ooh.
we didn't have to leave, and we left. And we went to California.
Right, right.
And we bummed around for a while. We happened to have a few dollars, so we didn't do anything for a while.
Is that right?
Yeah. Then I went to work for Collier Motor Sales, which was a NAPA for 13 western states.
There, and that was not yet in Placerville, or you were there?
No, that was not yet in Placerville.
I saw later on you had your own.
Yeah, they give me a store when they sold out the Genuine Parts in Atlanta.
Right.
They weren't going to do anything like that. They swore up and down that they were going to keep the same personnel and all that stuff, but it never happened.
Didn't happen.
No, it didn't happen.
Well, I'm amazed to say time is flying by. We've got less than 10 minutes, so there's a lot to get into, and we want to fast forward, not all the way forward, but to that, surely to the computer experience. The fascinating thing was you mentioned there right here at the beginning of the interview that many of the people you're communicating with are friends from a very early age.
Yeah, they're relatives.
So that means they are they
right.
peers of yours in their 80s?
Yeah, they're in their 80s.
Uh-huh. How did they get on the net?
Well, I got a Christmas card from one in Nanaimo, and down at the bottom it said internet number so and so and so and so.
Right.
I said, that's odd. So Larry and Ginny got me a computer. I already had one, so I got on the computer and tapped that in there, and I never heard from them for 2 months because nobody was checking the email.
Right.
And then Joyce finally got on the horn, and she told me, well, what are you doing on there? I said, what are you doing on here? So that's how it started.
And this would have been in the last 10 years, or?
I would say 2000 or 2001 or 2.
Is that right? Yeah, yeah. In the last 7 to 10 years. That's amazing.
Then my cousin in Nanton,
right,
he got on the line. I got his email from Joyce, and Joyce gave me an email of May and Marg, who lived in Edmonton. And in the meantime, I'd already got in touch with the one in Colorado. She was a friend of my wife's, and her name was Dr. Pauline Rosen. And we've been on there ever since.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So you are, if you weren't here right now with us at 7 a.m., you would be online? You get online early in the morning, start checking emails?
Afternoons.
Afternoons, yes. You take it easy in the morning.
Yeah, I usually sleep in.
Very nice. Well, of course, being creekfront in the summer, being able to spend some time, do you get out on the water much?
No, I haven't done that in many years.
Good for you. Take it easy.
We used to have a boat in Sacramento, and when we went to Placerville, we had to sell it because it was too far to go. But we were on that boat every weekend.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
You and Hertha?
Mm-hmm. 25-foot Trojan cruiser.
Oh, boy, yeah.
Nice boat.
Yeah.
Had to give it away to get rid of it.
I've heard that about boats. Sometimes people get boats, think, what am I doing with this thing?
Yeah, we used to tow Larry and his college buddies in the Delta. Them guys would run me out 35 gallons of gasoline in an afternoon.
Yeah, thankfully, the prices weren't what they are today. That's
yeah,
right.
They were higher.
Oh, no.
At the docks than they were.
Oh, yeah.
But it was a good time. That was the best part of my life, I think, my wife and myself.
Is that right? When
Yeah.
you all were out running Larry and his buddies around?
Yeah.
That's exciting.
And he said to me one day, he said, I go away to college, and he said, you buy a color TV, and he said, you buy a boat, and here I am stuck in school. And I told him, well, son, that's the way it goes.
Right, absolutely. Well, of course, you all took good care of him in his youth, and now he's enjoying.
I hope so.
Being having you around. He and his wife have you. They got you and your wife to move here in, I believe, '95.
Yeah.
So you
they built us a place here on their property.
Oh, good.
And therefore, we could come and go from Mesa as we wished, or wherever we wanted to go. We could always have a hat here and a hat in Mesa, and we, just traveled.
Right.
And that's the way we went until she had a stroke, and she died a couple of years later. I think 2002.
Right.
January the 1st. So times is tough since then.
Yeah. Well, we're sure thankful you're here, and of course, the internet's probably a good opportunity for some solace to be able to communicate with folks that. So you were regularly penning, you were writing notes, and always communicating pen to paper. Mm-hmm. And now it's just immediate.
I don't. I don't hardly pick up the pen anymore.
Is that right? Yeah.
Except to jot a note or something.
Sure.
The internet's a wonderful thing.
Great for communication.
Yeah. And you can find a lot of things on it. I'm looking now for the correspondence I had with the Denver Post in about 2003 or 4, somewhere along in there.
Mm-hmm.
And they transferred me over to one person, then transferred me over to another one, and transferred me over to the one who was in charge of the old-time Post. But she didn't go back that far.
No.
Yeah, so she said she couldn't help me. So
you ever track down that cartoonist who picked you up, track down some of his cartoons? Yeah.
Now, he signed his name as Doc, D-O-C.
Right.
And then right in the middle, he drew a bird with 3 feathers down here, and 2 legs, and 2 arms, and then he put Finch behind it. That's the way he signed his cartoons.
No.
He was a great guy.
Oh, yeah.
A great guy. Yeah, I had a lot of fun.
Yes. Well, it's so special to hear you think about, when you're talking about things, let's see, if when your wife was pregnant, so that's a good 65 years ago, but that idea about, literally trading in the groceries and getting the Johnny Walker there, these are things that really, when you think, oftentimes folks may or may not communicate with persons in their late 80s or 90s, and to think about how vivid that is. It sounds like you can almost picture yourself walking in, going through that transaction, getting that bottle, driving away. You can kind of picture all those surroundings. And
well, my wife went to live with her mother and my mother. They were both living in Denver.
Right.
And both of them had other children. Mm-hmm. My mother had 3 more.
Right.
And Hertha's mother had 2 more. Mm-hmm. And everybody's gone now, except me. And but I have lots of relatives in Denver.
Good.
Lots and lots. They got a lot of email in Denver too.
Oh yeah. It's a very internet savvy city.
Yeah, I got one fellow he's a nephew. He's actually my nephew, and he's a little older than Larry. And he's on there every day.
Really?
Yeah, he's nothing else to do, he says.
Who are you most surprised? We got about a minute. I hate to say it. I can't believe time's blowing by so fast. Who are you most surprised that's online? Was it Joyce originally back there? Is it anyone?
Yeah, it was Joyce originally, because I didn't know too much about the internet, and
Sure.
I didn't have a handle or anything like that. And my handle is Hangtown Red 18. And that's
Hangtown Red 18. Well, we get Hangtown.
Red hair.
Yeah.
1918, my birth date.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
So that's what my handle is.
That is great. Well, as I said, it could be the ABCs. It could be so many, and
yeah,
I love that one. You think about, for you, Kenny, anything that really, clearly there's so many memories that are vivid for you. Is there anyone that had a tremendous impact on you at an early age that still carries forward to today?
One person, my aunt. Her name was Catherine Biddle Rich, R-I-C-H-E. And she was the instigator of bringing us down from Canada. She was at Wisconsin. My father was her nephew, and she took a liking to him, and so she got him some employment down in Denver, and that's why we went to Denver, on account of Catherine Rich. And she died quite some years ago, but she was always there. Any time that you wanted anything, you'd have to go see Aunt Catherine. And I don't know what business she was in, or never did bother to inquire, I guess. But she always had plenty of money. Well, plenty of money, I'd say, to live comfortable.
Right.
And she's always good for a buck. So she was nice. Her son and her met when I was in the service. I went to furlough there a couple of times, and she was living down towards the state capitol in Denver, in one of the hotels down there. And we went down and had a dinner with her and so forth and so on. And that's the last time I saw her.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Kenny, I'm so sorry to say 26 minutes have blown by, and we got to get a little plug in for our advertising. But thank you so much.
Well, thank you
for coming in to be with us this morning, and look forward to seeing you on the internet.
Okay, good.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
This is really a treat.
Really a treat.
Absolutely. Nice firm handshake there. Stay tuned. A little more Carolina people with Kenny Biddle. I just hate running out of time. We're going to have to get Kenny Biddle back another time. The experience is both on camera and off camera. I wish you could have sat here the last couple minutes during our little break there to hear him talk about boxing. Boxing alone. It's worth getting him back. We'll get him back. Kenny Biddle, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Okay.
It's been a real treat.